All right, we have one of the big winners from UFC 247 earlier this month, and this one had no controversy. It didn't need to go to the judges. What an Octagon debut for Khaos Williams, who needed less than 30 seconds to put away a very tough guy in Alex Morono. Khaos, how are you? Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, and I'm good, man. I'm pretty good.
It's great to have you here, and here's one thing that I noticed about you right away watching that fight a few weeks back, and I noted it somewhat in my recap of the fight. You seemed like you were so ready for that moment. Like, you had a look about you that this moment wasn't too big for you. You were stone-faced through the whole introduction from Bruce Buffer. You just seemed like you belonged in there, like almost like you've been in that octagon 10 times before that. Like, is that accurate, or is that the best poker face I've ever seen?
Hey, no, you got it correct, man. Hey, it was a dream come true. It's something I've been waiting on, something I've been preparing myself for, and just the experience, man. It was just surreal. And shout out to Dana White. Shout out to my management team, Iridium, Jason, all of them. They're great guys. And Dana White, man, I need another fight, man. I need to get back in there so I can spend more than 30 seconds in that octagon.
So tell me the story about how you got the news that you were going to fill in and you were going to be on this card.
Really, I got the news. I was changing the headlight on the car, and my manager, he called me and he said, "Can you make the weight?" Gave me the date, which was 2 weeks from the date that he called me, and I'm like, "Yeah, we can do that." And he was like, "Okay, well, go ahead and start cutting the weight." I was already in the gym, so it really wasn't nothing to me. I stay ready, so I got to get ready, and it was just an opportunity that I couldn't miss up. I didn't even care who I was fighting. At the end of the day, they was in my way. We are human beings. I didn't care what they was coming with. I just was ready.
How did you react to all that? Because like we talked about when we kind of saw your demeanor in the cage, it seemed like you knew you belonged there to begin with. Was this a surprise to you, or you're like, "Yep, I guess the time is now," and I knew this was coming at some point?
I mean, of course, for any UFC debut fighter, I'm pretty sure that, anytime you get that call, it's a surprise. It's a blessing, because you never really know, especially like on a 2-week notice type of thing. You just going through the regular routine, and then you just get that call like, "Hey, making your UFC debut." So, it was definitely it was a surprise for sure, but it just made my day. And after that, like, hey, I couldn't sleep some days, man. The days that I couldn't sleep, I'd just be in the gym.
I have to admit, I know Morono has been known to get into dogfights and stand in there and hammer it out. But with you, especially with it being a short notice debut, I expected him to be a lot more patient in his approach. And it seemed like he played your game and he jumped into your wheelhouse right away. Were you surprised by that as well?
No, because, me and my coaches, we looked at him, we studied him a little bit, and we knew what he was coming with. We knew basically what was his strengths before he even did it. Like, right when I went in there, I knew he was going to throw that check hook. He threw it. He caught me with it, but I ate it. And like I said in my interview with Joe Rogan, if somebody make a mistake, they got to pay. It's not personal. It's just punishment, man. I know that at the end of the day, we're going to test that chin out. I know I got power in my hands. I know I can knock anybody out at 170 if I hit them the right way, and that's just the facts. And I had respect for him, just like anybody else. I never sleep on nobody in the fight. I knew that he had a lot of credentials, but that just made the victory even better.
Yeah, to me, like you just said, I think everything changed after the first time you landed on him. Like, his whole demeanor changed. Did you sort of feel that as well the first time you touched him, that you knew that you got his respect right away?
Yeah, I knew that it was pretty fast, man. I knew that right when I went to him, he faded back, threw that check hook, caught me. But people didn't even see what set it up, too. I threw that body kick. The body kick threw it all off, and that's when I caught him. That's when I came with the right, and I caught him with the left hook. And after I seen his eyes like rolling in the back of his head, hey, it was just. I had to move forward, man. I had to finish. I'm a finisher. Majority of my fights been finished, and I just want to continue that momentum.
It took you less than 30 seconds to put him away, and I know fighters, after talking to so many over the years, you guys always find holes in these performances, whether it goes to decision or it ends in 27 seconds. There can't be much from that night to pick apart, right?
Not really. Of course, me studying myself, I learn more through my losses than my wins, but even through my wins, I still see things that I did wrong. I mean, sometimes what I didn't like, of course, I got hit, but sometimes you gotta take one to give one, and I mean, I'll definitely take that to finish the fight, But it's certain things that I always take from my fights, wins and losses.
Were you able to enjoy it and smell the rose a little bit? I know you're looking to get right back in there, but I mean, good Lord, you accomplished a heck of a lot in a short amount of time. You got the quick win. You didn't take a lot of damage. You got a $50,000 bonus to boot. Like, this is as good as it gets.
Man, I'm already moved on and get ready for the next one, man. Like one thing about me, I never admire my work too long. I stay hungry. I stay humble, and I try my best to stay healthy. I know my plan. I'm not in anybody's rush. But I know what I want to get to, and I know where I came from, and I know, what I'm saying, where I'm trying to go. So at the end of the day, I got to stay hungry. I got to stay working. I'm actually about to, hit the gym here in about an hour and a half and get my second workout of the day in. And right now, I'm just doing my little 2 days, I'm just staying fit. And then when I get the confirmation for another fight, I'm gonna move it to 3 to 4 days, and just critique a couple things, adjust, just move a few things, who I might be matched up against.
3 or 4 days?
Yeah, man, I'm here, man. I'm here. Yeah, 3 or 4 days, man. This is just my life, man. When I'm not in the real estate field property, all I got is time. It's just, hey, I'm just eating, sleeping, and shit, and mixed martial arts, man. And this is what I'm doing. I continue to get better. A lot of people, they may be sleeping on me. They think that I'm one-dimensional, or I might be a knockout artist, or all I have is hands. But like I say, I continue to get better, and I continue to improve, and I'm just ready to show it. If the fight go 15 minutes, hey, just believe I'm gonna show up. If the fight go 30 seconds, just believe I'm gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? You put me in there against anybody, and I'm gonna show up.
How did you celebrate the win in Houston? Did you do anything fun?
Yeah, man. I just went out. Got some food. Didn't do nothing too major, just a couple of my people, they came down from Michigan. So we just all got together, went to a couple, went to a little club and whatnot, nothing too major.
So like you sort of spoke about being in the sport, we like to recap these wins and these moments, but we don't let you savor the flavor for too long, and you seem to be on that same boat. When would you like to return in a perfect world if it was up to you?
Oh, man, I mean, shoot, as soon as possible. I mean, if they give me a month. Give me a month. You know what I'm saying? If I can get on that Columbus, Ohio card March 28th, that's enough time. That's more than enough time. The fight wasn't 60 seconds. It didn't even last 60 seconds. So I do want to get back in there and spend more than 60 seconds in the Octagon, show a little bit more extra, add some more highlights, to the tapes.
Do you have anybody in mind for who you'd like to fight next? Does anybody, sort of make sense to you that you feel you'd like to share the Octagon with moving forward?
I mean, no, not at the moment. At the end of the day, I'm not, like I said, I'm not in a rush. I know my plan. Whoever they throw me, whoever they put in front of me, if it's a good fight and it makes sense, let's run it. At the end of the day, I'm gonna get to where I'm gonna get to the level where I will be top 10 in the world one day, where I will have to fight one of the top 5, or fight for the number 2 guy, number 1 guy, the champion, whoever it may be. So I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm not in a rush. I'm just continuing to get better and fight whoever they put in front of me.
So I was hosting this sort of like group podcast where I have a few media members on, and then the listeners like to throw questions out. And one of the listeners suggested, and I know that you both have ties to Michigan, and I don't know the history, at all to throw those cards around the table. But the idea from this listener was you versus Mike Perry, because you beat Morono. At worst, he's a top 20, 25 guy at the worst. It's not a crazy idea, in my opinion. It's one of those fights that can fast track you a little bit more. I mean, I know you're not in a huge rush, but who would want to see you fight Mike Perry? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, hey, if the fans want that, hey, I mean, shoot, it's whatever. Like I said, man, hey, whoever they put in front of me, man, that's all I know. Whoever they put in front of me, they gotta go.
I'm sure you got this question a lot during fight week, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit redundant, but Khaos is your legal name, right? Like, does your driver's license and everything say Khaos Williams now?
No. A lot of people that think that because I just been getting called that for over 10 years now. My name is actually Kalen. Kalen Williams is my government name, but I've been getting called Khaos since I was 13 years old. So that's more than 10 years. And, I just first it was negative because I got it in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Growing up in rough neighborhoods, I was always fighting a lot, found myself in trouble. And one of the older guys I grew up with, he was just like, man, you always causing a lot of chaos and ruckus, man. We just about to call you Chaos, man. And being that my name is Kalen, I just put the K on it, you know, and I just ran with it. And it's just something that, you know what I mean, people just been calling me my whole life pretty much. And, you know, like I said, I turned all that negative and made it positive now. So when people see chaos, they see it in a positive way.
So how did you find MMA with, you know, you said you grew up in a rough neighborhood, you were getting in fights all the time. How were you able to sort of parlay that into an MMA career? And now you're in the UFC. How did that all start for you?
Because like I started boxing when I was 14 as well. But, you know, like I said, basketball, that was like my first love. How MMA is now, that's what basketball was to me then. So I was always a student athlete, ran track, played basketball, played football. But it kind of got to me later on in life when I was 19. I had this fight when I was 18. I fought this dude who, you know what I'm saying, grown man. He was 27, like I said, in the streets. He was 27. It's on YouTube. And basically I was showing people at the school, and they was just like, man, even my wrestling coach, because I wrestled my senior year, he was just, everybody, like, it was just a fight that it was an entertaining fight. People was just like, man, like, it was just one dude. He was like, man, you got it, man. Like, you can make a lot of money doing that, man. Like, you need to find you a gym. And, hey, that's what I did. I just found the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym out in Jackson, Michigan. And with my coach, Leo Laponte, that's what I started with. And I just jumped into it with some blind faith. 3 months later, because, you know what I mean, I'm naturally gifted, thank God. You know, I was always an athlete. And I just when I put my mind to it, you know, I accomplish and I do great things. So I started doing jiu-jitsu, started working on certain things, certain rules of the game, you know what I mean, really understanding what to do and what not to do a little bit. And 3 months later, I got in there with some blind faith, and I just fell in love with it ever since. You know, that feeling, that winning feeling, I loved it.
Do you feel like it changed your mentality in a lot of ways? I feel like martial arts does that to pretty much anybody that takes a part of it. But
yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did. You know, it taught me a lot of discipline, you know, really, you know, and on top of that, you know, like, I've been in not nothing too major, but it's been times where I've had bumps in the road. So with mixed martial arts, me being an MMA fighter, me being, you know what I mean, a mixed martial artist and public figure and a growing celebrity now, you know, it really made me have to move different, because I know I got people watching me. I know I got people that's looking up to me, you know. There's been times where I'll visit the kids multiple times at the high school, the middle school, the elementary school. You know, I even read to the kids at the elementary school. You know, the elder people with Parkinson's disease. I took time to go out and spend my time with them at the YMCA. I also, like, I've been invited with churches because I did a public speaking engagement, you know, and I've been and visited churches and stuff like that, and you know, just spend time with the kids, talk to the kids, let them know, like, just where you start, just no matter where you start at, you know what I mean? It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. So, you know, I just try to get that positive, you know, that positive vibe, that positive energy around. And you know, that's why, you know, I'm the real people's champ.
If you go back in time and talk to 18, 19-year-old Khaos Williams and told him, hey, listen, you're going to be doing public speaking engagements, you're going to be visiting churches and visiting the kids all the time, you're going to be in the UFC, what would that 18, 19-year-old Khaos Williams, how would he be reacted to that?
Man, man, back then, I probably couldn't even see it, you know. I probably couldn't even see it, but that's why, you know, you gotta live by faith sometimes. It's better to not know, you know, and because, hey, like I said, I probably couldn't even have seen it then. Some people seen what I didn't even see. Like, some people just seen it, and they was like, man, you're going to be in the UFC one day, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And like I said, I'm always humble, so me looking in the mirror myself, I never really look at, even with the knockout, I just knocked dude out. I don't really look at it like that, you know what I'm saying? I just look at the future. You know what I mean? I don't really look at what the world see, how they look at me. I'm just like everybody else. You know, I just got to keep grinding. I just got to keep getting better. You know, that's just how I look at myself, man. But, like, even my brother, man, he was telling me, like, basically, like, even before I was in the UFC, just being a public figure out here, you know, he was just telling me, like, man, you basically a celebrity out here, man. And I just didn't see it. You know, I look at myself just like everybody else. You know, we are humans.
Yeah, it's interesting. I remember there's this conversation that always stuck out to me I had with Kama Worthy after he made his UFC debut. And I asked him about the road he got here and, like, what the biggest learning lesson that he's faced to get to this point. And he said, taking losses as a fighter, getting up there is so important, because when you win, everyone's like, yeah, Khaos, let's go out and have drinks and let's be best friends. And then when you lose, it's like crickets. And he felt that that was the most important lesson that he's learned to get to this point. Is that something you had to experience as well? Or if not, what do you think has been the biggest lesson you've learned?
Yeah, most definitely, man. You know, I know how I feel to win and I know how I feel to lose. And I definitely hate the losing feeling more than I love the winning feeling. You know, I hate to lose, man. I'm a very competitive person. I don't care if it was tic-tac-toe, or, you know, I don't care if it was a chess game. Like, I want to win. You know, I got that winner's attitude. I just, you know, it's just something about me, man. Like, you know, like Kobe said, you know, you got to have that Mamba mentality. Rest in peace. You know, I'm just a competitive person, man. But I look at winning, you know, in this world, you got to really see losing to teach you who really there. You know, because there's a lot of fickle people. There's a lot of fickle people in this world, and losing to really show you who really there. And there's not too many genuine people. You know, even example, I don't really want to throw no names out there. You know what I'm saying? This is the interview with me, but even look at Deontay Wilder, for example. You know, he 2-0, 41 knockouts, but he take a loss, and now you got thousands and thousands of memes, people talking about you, and that's one loss. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? He still built a great legacy, still paid, still was a world champion, undefeated for years and years and years. So, I mean, just that one loss. You know, even look at Conor McGregor when he was at the top of the world, and then he took a loss. And Ronda Rousey, for example, when she took her first loss, you know. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, people, it's a lot of people that's, they just love you when you win it, because everybody love you when you win it, you know. So, the people that's really in your corner and genuinely rocking with you, man, those are people that I really appreciate. That's rocking with me for the long run, the longevity, and that's really rocking with me. I appreciate y'all.
Did you watch that fight on Saturday? I'm sure you did. Wilder versus Fury. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, I watched it. What'd
you think? That was a crazy fight.
Yeah, it was, man. You know, hey, things happen. You know, the best man win, and Tyson Fury, he showed up. You know, he was a better man that night.
It's a massive guy, man. 273 pounds. That's tough, man. I felt like, and this is just me, I'm a very casual boxing fan, but I do watch the big fights when they come around, and I was a big boxing fan probably 15, 20 years ago as a high school kid and like early in my college career. I felt like right away, like probably midway through the first round, I thought something was off right away on Wilder. And I thought the way he handled the loss was full of class, and he was like a true champion even in defeat. But I felt like something was off right away. Did you feel that too watching the fight?
I don't really know, man. I mean, being being a fighter, certain things maybe happen before a fight. Like, well, my one loss that I have as a professional, something transpired right before my fight. So, I mean, it's pretty common that he probably wasn't there all the way, but, you know, at the end of the day, a loss, you still got to take it like a man, like he did, like a true champion, and just keep moving forward, you know, and that's what really make us true champions, you know, just how you recover from those losses.
Any plans for the 50 Gs?
Oh, yeah, man, like I said in my interview, man, I'm in the, I got, you know what I'm saying, I put something to the side to pay my taxes on it, and then the rest, you know, I'll put something to the side and go invest in some more properties out in the city of Detroit.
There you go. Love it, man. Khaos Williams, one of the newest faces at 170 pounds in the UFC. I appreciate the time very much, Khaos. Before I let you go, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, any shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest. The floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Like I said, man, first and foremost, you know, I just want to thank God. Shout out to the UFC. Appreciate the opportunity. Shout out my team, Murcielago MMA. Shout out my management, Team Iridium. Shout out my sponsors, AAA Real Estate, Red Diamond Real Estate, Fusion CBD. They've been rocking with me. Jet Fitness. Also, to find me, you can find me at on Instagram at KHAOS Williams. That's without a space, all one word. You can find me on Twitter at KHAOSOX Williams. So Khaos Ox Williams on Twitter. And on Facebook, Khaos, the Ox Fighter Williams. That's my fan page.
Awesome, man. Congratulations on the win again and that performance, Khaos. Looking forward to seeing what is next for you in the Octagon, man.
Thank you.